Hello. Right, you guys are going to watch me do my nails. Now, it was voted on Instagram by you guys that I would do medium length coffin nails in bright colours. So, this is what I'm doing. I'm using Bunny Boiler and Ice Slush from Nailmate. Everything is Nailmate. You can get it from Glitter Planet. Also Holotopia. And my nude shade is going to be Perfect Pink. And obviously clear acrylic. This is the design I came up with. I didn't have much time. So it was quick, but very sparkly, very bright and colourful, very fun. And I hope you enjoy it. I've applied my tips and prepped my nails. I'm using like stiletto tips and then I've cut them down to create that kind of coffin shape with less of a C curve. Yeah, I had to be quick with this, but you know, I'm going to do a clear base first because it means that I can file back to it to do a redesign. And it also helps with retention. And if you get lifting issues and things like that. I've got loads of videos of me prepping nails, so I didn't think it was necessary to include the prep. And like I said, I just needed to get this done quite quickly because I had a lot of work on at the weekend singing. Yes. So I will soon have, basically to cut a long story short, a friend of mine needed help, needed me to step in and help out with some singing. And now we've decided we're going to do some more work together. So eventually we will set up our own social pages. So I would appreciate your support with that when it happens. And I have got videos and stuff to post as well, which would be quite exciting. So yeah, anyway, clear base going down. I'll do that on every single nail. You don't necessarily need to do the clear base all the way to the tip. It's more your nail bed and, you know, just kind of blend it down. And it's a thin, medium consistency. You don't want it too wet because what's the point? It will just lift. So you want your kind of medium consistency bead and just pop it on and blend it down. You don't need to like take it right up to the cuticle. I tend to do it just in front of the cuticle area. And I'm still so tired from the weekend. My brain did this weird thing where I woke up at 1 a.m. today and just went, morning. No, it's still dark. What time is it? Oh my God, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. What am I doing? I don't really know why that happened. Although we have had a full moon and that tends to mess with everybody's sleep in this house. I don't know why. But even when I used to work at the hospital, we'd be like, it's a full moon. And it would always go crazy. I don't know. Anyway, now I'm going in with Bunny Boiler. This colour is insanely pigmented. I'm going to put a little bit more monomer in that bead because we want it to be paintable. So with these, they are so pigmented. We don't use them for strength and structure. They are for art and beautifulness. Is that even a word? Art and beauty. There we are. Art and beauty, darling. Lovely, lovely shade of pink. I'm not a pink girly, but this is cute. I like it. And you just work nice and thin. Watch those side walls. There we are. Keep it nice and tidy. I'm not going to go right to the tip because I am going to apply Holotopia. Holotopia. Can you imagine? I would live in a world called Holotopia. Would you? Also, what are you drinking? I have a cup of tea. I have a giant cup, so I use 2 tea bags because this cup of tea ain't for the weak. So I'm just going to feather it down. I'm not too worried about the tip of the nail. I'm going to move on and let that set before I do anything. Don't touch it while it's still damp. Going in with Perfect Pink. And I'm going to apply my main bulk of the bead at the cuticle. And then I'm just going to blend it down the nail and kind of ombre it out so that it fades. So I'm fading it towards the tip of the nail because I'll be going over doing a marble swoosh and then glitter on top. So I'm going to have quite a lot of product there. So I want it nice and thin. I just want that coverage at the cuticle, down over the apex area and then blending out towards the tip. Using the very tip of my brush there to kind of position that product where I need it so that it doesn't leave any gaps, but also it doesn't pool into areas where we don't want it, because that will cause lifting. And I'll be doing the same on the ring finger here when I get in shot. Oh, don't you just love it when I can't position my hand in front of the camera? Well done me. Oh my God. Sometimes I'm concentrating so much on what I'm doing, I don't realise I've put my hand in a funny position. I will move it in a second. I sincerely apologise. As you can see, I'm tapping it down into those sidewalls. Let's just pretend it didn't happen, all right? Let's just wing that one. And I'm doing the same. I'm blending down towards the tip of the nail, which luckily is in shot. Oh, there she is. Look. Hello. Sorry about that. So tip of the brush to tuck it at the cuticle, like so, and then middle of the brush to move the product and blend it down. Very, very swooshy and nice. This is a lovely colour. It's slightly pinker in real life. Sometimes my editing suite seems to wash out colours, and I'm still working through it because it's like a new editing suite I'm not used to. So I'm getting the gist of it, guys. Just bear with. Again, same tip to tuck, middle to move, blend it down towards the tip of the nail. Okay, now then, I'm going in with the pinky nail and ice slush. If you don't want to lick this colour, there is something wrong with you, because it looks like it would taste amazing. It doesn't, and it's not edible, so I am not advocating you licking acrylic, because you'll be very, very sick. But if it was a flavour, I can't decide if it would be like a sour raspberry or a minty. What do you think? Because it just looks so edible. It's like yummy, yummy. Okay, well, I am applying the bulk of my product on the nail bed and the cuticle area. And then I'm blending it down towards the free edge and letting it fade out naturally, because we're going to go over the top with Holotopia on that nail as well. So bulk of the product there, but again, nice and thin, because we're not building strength or structure, because it's a colour powder, not a core powder. That is Holotopia. And if you don't want to bathe in that, there's also something wrong with you. I'm rolling that bead off because it's easier with glitter acrylic. And then you can feed into it lots and lots of monomer from your brush and move that glitter around. Now I'm doing a full nail like a walking disco ball. I am a walking disco ball. I'm going to apply some more, and I'm going to really pack it in. Pack it in. Pack it in, bloody hell. I could have done silver underneath, right? And then just dib-dabbed the Holotopia on top. However, it's glitter, isn't it? So naturally, I just lazzed it on there. It's like, have it, have all of it, have it. And I love it. So sparkly. Oh, it makes my heart happy. Keeping that shape though, because you're working with a chunky glitter here. So keep an eye on the shape. Keep an eye on your structure. You can't go too fat because you need to cap it. Because there's no strength in a glitter powder. Same as there's no strength in a colour powder. So you need like your core shades, like your nudes and your clears. That's where the strength comes from. So you have to allow the space to build that strength and structure. And in order to do that, you need good quality products so you can build a thin base like I'm doing here. That's why Glitter Planet products are fabulous. And with that being said, if you want to save 10% on your order, use code Sarah B. 10%. That's quite a good saving. I'm going to tuck that in at the cuticle. Now, it can get tricky working with chunky glitters at the cuticle. Some people tend to apply a colour base underneath, like a silver acrylic or something, but I'm kind of used to it now, so I didn't really need to. But yeah, if you're just starting out with glitter acrylics, by all means, apply a colour base, then you can apply thinner glitter on top, and then you don't have to worry so much. But when you get kind of used to it, you just do it. Just do it. Do you remember that video that went viral years ago with that man? Just do it. Okay, so now my thumb is set in place. I'm going to apply Holotopia at the tip with the main amount of glitter focused on the tip of the nail. And then I'll turn my brush around and blend it back, creating that fade or ombre look. And you can just add more to it. The whole reason why I waited for the pink to be set is because if you go straight in over the top with the glitter, the pink is so highly pigmented, if it is even slightly damp, it will bleed into the glitter and you will lose your sparkle. So you must wait for your base colour to be polymerised and set in place. Just makes it so much easier. And again here I'm just playing with it, moving it into place, keeping an eye on the shape, not too fat, and making sure my side walls and free edge are nice and neat. Right, I can't remember which nail I do next. What do I do next? Oh, I'm going to do my marble. I am marbling bunny boiler and ice slush, and I'm going to kind of go up into the wings and down. And I marble like 2 or 3 different ways. I just play around with it. Sometimes I paint it like this and then sort of sculpt out the bits I want to keep and the bits I want to leave by cleaning my brush and then doing this. And then other times I'll apply beads and blend them in like slightly larger bits like this. It depends on what I do. Like it's very mood orientated. If I feel like I want to apply a bead on top of a bead, like now I'm going to put bunny boiler inside ice slush and then swirl them together, you get a completely different look doing it that way. So it gives you so many options on how you want to do your marble. The main thing is work with a pigmented, good quality powder. That way you can keep your design thin. And then there's room to encapsulate and give your nails strength. I know I sound like a bloody broken record, but it is true. It's so true, honey. Okay, checking those side walls, patting and tapping the product into place. Yes. Move on to the next one, let it set. I will be going back to put some glitter in there, but not yet, because the pigment will transfer. Again, up into the wings. And then in with ice slush, paint it on, mess about with it. Just have a little bit of fun. We all like a little bit of fun, don't we? A little bit of fun. Nice big beads dotted around here, and then I'll put some bunny boiler on top. Tiny bits though, it's so pigmented. Holy schmoly, it's pigmented. There we are. And we'll just have a play. Checking the sides, checking the free edge. Go back over the design, make sure it is the way I want it. And just have a little bit of fun. Did I double dip? No, I didn't. I thought I was going to double dip then. Sometimes I double dip as well. Yeah, and that is not a euphemism. Filthy. Get your mind out of the gutter now. Honestly, you guys, you're incorrigible. Yes. Blendy, blendy, but not too much. Don't overblend, because what will happen is instead of marbling, you'll just create a whole new colour. And God knows what it will be. Okay, God, I've really hurt my little nail. Both my little nails on my fingers, I've hurt them because they're so long. Okay, I'm going in with Holotopia and doing a little ombre at the tip there. There we are. Blendy blend. Nice and easy. I think I'm going to have to cut these nails down actually. They are quite long for me. I keep catching them. At the weekend when I was doing the gig, I couldn't even open boxes. Right, now the 2 marble nails, of course we're putting glitter on them. Why wouldn't I? Come on. Do you even have to ask? Not only does it add the sparkle and it ties in the rest of the design, but when you do a marble, if you add a bit of glitter, it also kind of softens the edges. So your marble kind of fades back into the nail. It's nice. It's a good little way of helping the blend progress. You see like the difference with or without. It looks so much better with a bit of glitter. Well, I think everything does. I mean, I'd just cover my cats in it if I had the opportunity, but I don't think they'd appreciate it, which is sad, because a glitter cat would be a great thing to have. Okay, same on here. Taking it up, and again, just spread it out. Like if you work thin and work with a wet bead, it'll be fine. You're basically drawing with the tip of a brush. Now you do have to wait for these to set in place before capping them. So I will start at the thumb because obviously that has set in place. Here we are before capping. So let me show you capping or encapsulation. So if you're new to nails and you hear a nail tech say capping, it's encapsulation. It is covering your design with clear acrylic. If you notice, I wiped the nail down first with my brush, which had monomer on it. And that just ensures that when I apply this bead, it's got a nice surface to stick to. I'm going to blend the back of that bead slightly with my brush and then start walking the rest of the bead down the nail. And I'm not applying lots of pressure. If you put too much pressure into it, you run the risk of putting air bubbles into your product. So just work with gravity and just walk your product down the nail nice and gently. And as that product starts to polymerize, which is like setting in place, it will become a little bit firmer like it's doing now, and it'll make it easier to pull it right to the tip of the nail and then discard of any excess. So as you can see, I've taken it right past the tip and I'm just going to ping off. Do not do this with your fingers. I've seen people do this. I have been guilty of this before as well, but please just use your brush, or if you've got gloves on, whatever, do what you want. But, you know, look at that. That keeps that shape nice and tight. Then you don't have to do too much work with your file, which is kind of where we bugger up our wrists and end up with arthritis and all that other shebangs. So I'm just checking my shape. I'm checking I haven't got too much excess product in the way. I am keeping it nice and sharp. All right, so it does, and it really has. It was easy to file. And you may be like, why do you keep faffing with it? Because it will pay you to pay attention to it. Going in with the cuticle bead. And I'm going to tip it. Oh my God. I'm going to use the tip of my brush to tuck. I'm not going to tip it. I don't know what I was trying to say then. Tip of my brush to tuck the product in at the cuticle so you don't get a step up. You have a smooth transition from finger to cuticle area. Do you know what I mean? So you've got your hand, you've got the cuticle area, and then it will slide up into the acrylic nail as opposed to like bump, which also causes lifting because it's an improper balance. A bit more product at the cuticle there, just to give that strength and structure and build an apex. Again, blending the bead at the back and then pulling it forwards, but keeping the bulk of the product in the apex zone for strength. My thumbs scoop, so I have to build them slightly differently. Don't know why they do, but they do. That's just what happens. I noticed a slight dip there, so I'm going to go back in, blend the back of the bead out, and then walk it down the nail. Just to smooth out that area where I felt that it was just not quite right. A little bit like me. Something's wrong, we just don't know what. There we are. She is encapsulated, and remember, if it ain't matte, it ain't capped, girlies. Your glitter will go matte once it is encapsulated correctly. So wipe down the nail, and you see that glitter's all shiny. I'm going to go in with a chunky ass bead now, and I'm going to do a one beader just because I felt like it. But I haven't taken that bead too close to the cuticle because I built up most of that strength and structure already with the nude core powder for strength. So I only need to lightly encapsulate the glitter, which has now gone matte, as you can see. And we'll just tap the bead side to side, walking it. I walk left to right, right to left, left to right, right to left. Walk it down the nail, like so. And then, once I get to the end of the nail, I will discard of any excess product. Oh, somebody just slammed a door next door. Did you hear that? Made me jump. Pop that off. Nice and easy. And then just neaten it with my brush. And then there's less work to do when you're doing your finish filing. I'm checking everything's nice and smooth. Checking my apex. Checking my cuticle. Checking my sidewalls. Checking my free edge. Check, 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 check. And I did the same thing on every single bloody nail. But I didn't film every single one because I thought you might nod off in your chair. So, as if by magic, I have encapsulated and filed, and now I'm just getting rid of the dust. It's just so quick when you watch it on a YouTube video, isn't it? But in reality, it's not. It's painstaking. So Madam Glam's no white top coat, guys. Let's just get in with this. Watch this nail come to life. When you top coat acrylic, it's so satisfying. Oh, let there be glitter. Yes! If that doesn't tingle your brain cells, then nothing will, and you are dead inside. Because that is just so satisfying. I think I could watch top coat videos all day. I really do. Oh, that reminds me, I've had a massive load of PR from Madam Glam. I think what happened is they sent it a while ago. Customs decided they quite liked the look of it because it was quite large and they wanted to keep hold of it for a little bit. And I actually had to pay import tax on it. Isn't that nice? So, she's going in the lamp. So I have 3 boxes of Madam Glam. I've got 14 gel polishes, 2 builder gels and 3 fiberglass gels. So I think I might do a live over on Instagram. Or do you want me to do something here? Or do you want me to do both? Do you want it live or do you want it pre-recorded? Let me know. I will do whatever you guys want. I don't mind doing a live on Instagram and a live on YouTube. I really don't mind. There we are. Look at the top coat. Shiny. Very shiny. Ready for the glitter reveal? Oh, yes. Hello. I've got to watch my voice. I've got 3 gigs this weekend and I've got a sore throat because it's friggin' hay fever season. But on the plus side, my apple tree is blossoming and she looks absolutely gorgeous. So, a nice sparkly glittery nail. There's metallics and holographics in there. So you've got a good combo. So pretty. So pretty, honey. Same on here. Just comes to life, doesn't it, with that top coat? That's what makes like hard gel and acrylic design in encapsulated design so satisfying is the top coat process. Because that design is encapsulated and when you file it goes so matte and chalky and you're like, oh, top coat goes on, ping, straight back to life. Let's have a look at this. Beautiful, beautiful colour. So pretty. Look at that. Isn't it pretty? I hope those of you that voted are happy with the result. I wanted goth nails, but apparently that's just not the done thing. Just must be me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll do a final reveal video. Oh, look how blurry that is. Isn't that wonderful? I'm so good at this. There we are. Look, I've got matchy nails, guys. How often does that happen? Not often enough. So yes, don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Please leave comments. It really helps the algorithm and I love you for it. And I will reply to every single comment. I will see you in my next video. Until then, goodbye.